Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Natasha and I'm a passionate linguist. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to learn a foreign language. Before we begin, I would like to make a small disclaimer that all advice I'm giving in this video is based on my personal experiences in both learning foreign languages and teaching them. And therefore, I'm only talking about European and Slavic languages, and if your goal is to learn Chinese or Arabic, I'm probably not going to be much of a help here. Just so you know. Now to the rest of the video. So today I'm going to tell you my tips and my take on how to learn a foreign language. What you need to focus on, where to begin at all, and how to proceed in order to be successful in learning a foreign language. So first things first, you need to start with a goal. Like with anything else in life, basically, you need to know why you're doing this. You need to understand why you need to learn a certain language or why you want to do it. And your goal is going to determine your deadline and also the level that you need to get to, because different goals require different levels of proficiency in the language. A vacation in Italy is going to require way lower level than going to work in Italy. After you have determined your goal, you need to find resources that are going to help you to learn the language. Of course, the best thing to do would be to hire a teacher. It doesn't have to be a private tutor. You can just sign up for language classes at an evening school or something like that. You can join a group that learns that language. But to have a person there who knows the language and who knows the methods to learn that language would be the best thing, of course, and it would be the most efficient thing to do. And if you're looking to learn English, I'm here at your service, wink wink. But I realize that not everyone can afford language courses or tutoring. So if you're completely on your own, then I would advise to get a good grammar book and to find a resource with lots of texts and audio. How to choose the textbooks. Read the reviews. I don't know what language you're trying to learn, so I can't recommend any specific grammar books. So you have your goal, you have your resources. What do you do next? Where do you begin? Well, as simple as it sounds, you start with the alphabet. And I realize you might say you already know Latin alphabet, but different languages oftentimes have additional letters to the alphabet, like umlauts in German. Also, different languages read certain letters and combinations of those letters differently. So first thing you need to do is study the alphabet for your target language. And right after the alphabet, you need to learn how to read. So you're going to need to learn how to pronounce all diphthongs and triphthongs in your target language so that you can read properly. After reading, you need to learn how to speak. And of course, I don't mean to speak freely and fluently. No one is expecting this from you when you're just starting out. But you need to learn how to pronounce words. I would advise listening to simple dialogues and just repeating them until you get it correctly. You probably are going to need transcription with the dialogues, so find a resource that has that. And you can learn them by heart if it helps. But it has to be a lot of input and then some output on your part. The next thing you need to do is to dedicate some time in a day to your studies. Preferably every day. It can be every other day. And I'm going to say it at once, 15 minutes are not going to cut it. It doesn't matter what the apps are promising you. It needs to be something between 30 minutes and 1 hour. But that's not all. You need to find ways to incorporate the language that you're learning into your everyday life. There are many ways to do that. You can listen to the music in your target language. You can try read kids' books. You can switch your electronic devices to the language that you're learning. You can try watching your favorite shows in your target language with English subtitles, for example, or even without subtitles if you have already watched it before. That's going to train your brain to recognize that language, and then in some short time you're going to start noticing that you recognize certain words and phrases when you hear them or see them somewhere. And that means that you know them already. That means progress. Now to the things you shouldn't do, or things that I consider completely useless or even harmful. Number 1, lists of most used words. Guess what those words are going to be for English, for example. Articles, pronouns, and prepositions. What is it going to bring you if you learn 100 of those words? Absolutely nothing. But even if you find a list of most used verbs and nouns, for example, so you look at those words and you already know how to read and how to pronounce them, but then again, what do you do with them? Without any grammar knowledge, you don't know how to put them together. So those lists are a complete waste of time. Number 2, checklists. So what is the purpose of a checklist? It's to check yourself. It's in the name. It's like a little test that you go through in order to understand how much you know. But the way the checklists are presented nowadays is like a study material, which is completely not true. But because it's marketed that way, you go through the checklist, it tells you how much you know, and you get this pleasant feeling of satisfaction that this is how much you've learned. And then you go on with your day thinking that you've done something for your language studies, which is not true, because you've made zero progress, you learned nothing new. It only told you what you already knew, but your brain tells you that you've done a good job. So it is harmful in a way because it tricks you into thinking that you learned something while it's not true. Number 3, language games and language apps. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Busuu and Duolingo and I use them, but they are only good as an additional tool. They can't be your main resource, because when you're just starting out and you know nothing of the language and you start with Duolingo, for example, it tells you that you've done the exercise correctly from the 5th attempt, but that doesn't matter. They still reward you with a really little cheerful sound and happy owl, and then you think that you learned something, and you did. You probably learned some words, but did you make significant progress with your language? No, you didn't. And can you speak now? No, you can't. So, and you can waste a lot of time with Duolingo. You can do it for hours every day, but it is not going to get you far. Last thing, in order to be successful in your foreign language studies, don't try to cut corners. Don't fall for those magic pills ads that are promising you to learn a language in 3 weeks, get fluent in 3 months, whatever. That all is a waste of time and money and a way to set yourself for a failure and disappointment. Get prepared to dedicate time and effort to your language studies, and then you will be successful. You can't learn the language in a week or 3 weeks. It's not the way it works. Okay, this is it for today. Thank you all guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. There's 18 people subscribed so far. I'm very happy about it. Next time I will be talking about accents and what it actually means to speak like a native speaker, and whether you need to get rid of your accent and everything on that topic. So if you're interested, subscribe to stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Bye!